The night the music stopped, it started as a night of harmony, laughter, and faith, but ended in complete silence. At exactly 9:47 p.m., in the small town of Willow Creek, Ohio, the entire congregation of St. Augustine's Church Choir vanished. No screams, no signs of struggle, only the echo of a song, and a recording that captured their final note. In the next 30 minutes, you'll discover how a joyful rehearsal turned into one of the most baffling mass disappearances in modern American history. You'll hear from investigators, surviving witnesses, and one chilling clue that may explain what truly happened that night. A clue hidden in the final seconds of an audio tape that was never meant to be heard. This is the choir's last note. Then everything fell silent. The Willow Creek Choir was a beloved local ensemble. 16 members, ages 15 to 73. Every Thursday evening, they gathered in the candlelit nave of St. Augustine's Church for practice. Their director, Eleanor Pike, was a retired music teacher known for her perfectionism. She once said, "A song only lives when every voice trusts the other." On November 12, 2018, the choir met to rehearse for the town's winter festival. The weather was cold, with early snow flurries drifting through the air. By 8 p.m., the group began their warm-up. By 9:30, they were recording the final take of a hymn titled "Be Still, My Soul." Security footage from the church parking lot showed cars arriving. No one ever saw them leave. At 10:15 p.m., a local janitor named Frank Dillard entered the church to lock up. Inside, the lights were still on. The choir robes were neatly folded on the pews. Sheet music was scattered across the floor as if dropped mid-song. The only sound came from a small recording device still running on the pulpit, its red light blinking. When police arrived, they found no bodies, no footprints, no broken glass, and no signs of forced entry. All 16 choir members were missing. Detectives played the last recording. It began normally, voices blending in perfect harmony. But halfway through the song, something changed. The pitch began to distort. The organ's lower notes deepened unnaturally. Then, faintly, under the melody, came a new sound, a whisper, rhythmic and low. Audio engineers described it as a frequency not created by any human vocal range. At 9 minutes and 46 seconds, just as the song reached its final crescendo, every voice stopped at once. The recording captured one final note, pure, piercing, followed by 30 seconds of silence. Then the device clicked off on its own. Lead investigator Detective Marla Jensen described the scene as eerily undisturbed, like they vanished between breaths. Police dogs picked up no scent trails beyond the church doors. Forensics found no fingerprints other than those of the choir members. And when they checked the electrical grid, they discovered that the church's power had briefly surged at exactly 9:47 p.m., the same second the tape went silent. The FBI joined the case, labeling it a mass, unexplained disappearance. They called it the Silent Choir Incident. 3 days later, a witness came forward. Harriet Moore, a resident who lived across the street, said she'd heard the singing stop abruptly. Moments later, she saw a faint glow through the stained glass windows, a gold shimmer, like the air was vibrating. When she looked again, it was gone. Police dismissed her account at first, until they reviewed power data showing a massive electromagnetic spike localized to the church grounds at that same time. Digging deeper, detectives uncovered something strange in the choir's past. 10 years earlier, in 2008, the same group had been involved in another mysterious event, a fire during a midnight mass rehearsal. The flames spread unnaturally fast, but every member survived. Eleanor Pike had been hospitalized afterward and was never quite the same. Her journal entries from that year, later recovered by police, contained cryptic lines. The voice returns when we sing the old words. It listens from the shadows. Silence is never empty. Weeks later, as authorities prepare to close the investigation, an audio technician cleaning the choir's damaged recorder made a chilling discovery. Hidden within the static of the last track was another layer of sound, barely perceptible. When slowed and filtered, the frequencies revealed what seemed to be human voices beneath the main harmony. 16 of them, and in the background, another deeper tone, matching none of the singer's vocal ranges. The voice whispered a single Latin phrase, non revertentur, they will not return. In early December, the case took a darker turn. A fisherman discovered a single body downstream from Willow Creek, half buried in the frozen mud. It was identified as Caleb Wright, the church organist. His autopsy revealed something inexplicable. His lungs were filled with salt water, not river water. Inside his jacket pocket was a small page torn from sheet music, smeared with ink that read, "The note must not be sung again." Investigators returned to St. Augustine's. The church had been locked since the night of the disappearance, but a new motion alert triggered the alarm. Inside, on the altar, they found a fresh tape. No fingerprints, no footprints, just a recorder. When played, it contained only 4 seconds of sound. The faint hum of the same hymn, followed by a single piano, key pressed once, middle C. Then a woman's voice whispered, "Be still." Experts confirmed the voice was Eleanor Pike's, but she was still missing. In the years since, Willow Creek has changed. The church was deconsecrated and sealed. Locals claim that on November nights, if you pass by after dark, you can still hear faint singing through the cracks in the boarded windows. A new investigation in 2022 found traces of metallic dust near the altar, similar to that found in high-voltage discharge sites, suggesting that something electrical or otherworldly occurred there. But the FBI quietly closed the case again, citing lack of evidence. To this day, no one knows what happened to the Willow Creek Choir. Their final note still exists, studied by sound engineers who say it contains anomalous frequencies that can't be explained by normal acoustics. Was it a natural resonance? A freak sound wave collapse? A cult ritual disguised as song? Or something far more mysterious, something that answered back when they sang? Every year on November 12th at 9:47 p.m., the town goes silent. No music, no bells, only the wind moving through the trees, and sometimes a faint melody no one dares to finish. So, the question remains, Thought Balloon, what did the Willow Creek Choir really sing that night? And why did the music have to stop?